in
Yeah.
to the logos here. So we sent over, I think this first round was 6 different logo comps. It was kind of open as far as your brief and what you're looking for.
Yeah.
It was definitely, you wanted the U.S. and bag to kind of scream at you. So we kind of dug in. This first one here, a little bit more angular. A little, I would say it's a little tough.
Almost military inspired.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
Can
Yep.
see some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Number 2.
So this one got high praise from a lot of the team.
Did it?
Yeah, it was very like George Lucas, kind of.
Yeah.
It went, right into that kind of sci-fi
Yep.
look, and then the wind turbine was hot, and I think we all love this, especially for that one market.
Yeah.
But it, for us, we didn't want to pigeonhole the brand into one market, but this is like one of those secondary icons you'd make an entire marketing campaign around.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love this.
For sure.
Yeah, it was really
even
fun.
as a T graphic or something for that industry.
Yes. Yeah. This one's
Yeah.
really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it would have been tough if you did run with this to then put this on your outdoor, bag
Yeah.
that's gonna
I
go
mean,
on the
everyone
back
would be
of a
like,
Jeep.
why do we need a fan?
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure. So
this was one of my,
this one's
I love it.
super good. This is you, right, Jordan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very clean.
good
Right.
More
Like,
modern, you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Just focusing on that letter form
Definitely timeless
Yep.
for sure.
has some strength.
And then this
Yep.
one, a little
Very
bit more on the outdoor side.
Totally.
you know?
Yeah, and this had high praise too.
Yeah.
Especially for that market.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love the shield looks like a highway sign, and
Mhm.
that's what we're all about, is this adventure and travel,
Yeah.
and it kind of carries that theme forward. It's got, again, kind of that military surplus lettering and
Stenciled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be a great tee or actually
can.
patches on the bags.
Oh, for sure.
I love the A with the tree,
For sure.
Yeah.
which this was Dave, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good job, Dave.
Yeah, Dave
Super
crushed
bold.
it. Yep. This was one of my favorites.
Me too. Yeah.
This one in the actual one that you guys picked in the end, but I love this one. This
I
is
do
you
too.
Jordan, right?
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah.
pretty much Dave and you on this
think
whole
it was just
project.
us
yeah.
two, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a fun one.
It's cool. It's one of the things that drew me to this immediately was the kind of nautical look.
Sure.
Right. It was like there's movement, with the kind of italicized look to it. There's movement in it. It looks current. It looks like it's like, look at us move by you. I know that sounds so stupid, but whatever. you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, it just,
absolutely.
and
Emotion.
I loved
Yeah.
the way you wrapped the banner on that. That
Cool.
to me was like the detail that gives it dimension, that makes it all come together.
Right on.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I had a fun time with that one.
And then this one, you just saw this one again recently.
I did.
And you like that bottom right.
I did. I was looking
Yeah.
at that. I'm like, why didn't we make a patch out of that?
It's a good patch
Yeah.
graphic.
Yeah.
All of them are. I mean,
Yeah.
you can do something with all of them, right? And
Yeah.
and that one is incredible for that. It almost like it jumps out to me as kind of almost in the comic, not Comic Sans.
But you don't
knows
like
its
Comic
fonts.
Sans.
Yeah, not Comic Sans, but in kind of that comic theme, right? Like it's
Absolutely.
very superhero.
Yep,
Yeah,
it is.
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the challenge with your logo is the LUSB, like getting those so they read right
Yeah.
and separate so the US is on its own.
Yeah.
Dave did a good job of, bringing that US to the front, but the combination of those 4 letters where you're not looking at it and trying to read it like a word.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many people call us and say, "Are you Last Us Bag Company?"
really, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
And that's where your original logo, I felt like really read like that.
Yeah.
Like that one, I was like, whoa, I don't know what I'm reading here.
Yeah.
We'll get to
so.
something when we come to the end, because I think there was like 2 options where we had oh yeah, here it is.
Yes.
The US as like underlined versus
Yes.
2 dots
Yeah.
or periods or whatever,
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
What read the most as US.
Yeah, so this one, the last 2. Oh, so this one here.
Yeah.
Round 2, I think we got deeper into this one.
And what we did at the office,
Yeah.
we printed these out, large format,
Did
put
you?
them on the walls. Everybody came through the office
Oh,
and
cool.
voted. and
Nice.
said, and then we took, surveyed everybody in the company to kind of see where it came, and we picked our top 3, and then we did a secondary vote on that to see where we would go, and then we
Awesome.
wrote a list out of different things that we knew that we wanted to see edits on.
Yep.
And then from there, you guys went into round
Perfect.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's jump into round 2. I mean, you'll see on this last one, it was pretty close.
It is.
You guys
yeah.
came back and you're
Yeah.
like, this one's
Yeah.
definitely headed in the right
Yeah.
direction. So moving on to round 2, you were still trying to push for the windmill.
Yep.
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 That one made it through.
Yep.
And then like we said, the patch.
Yeah.
So a lot
Yeah.
of people like that one.
Yeah, and it was we went back to the more cyan
Mhm.
Yep.
color.
The color palette you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it, everybody that does, and forgive me here, but it kind of comes ubiquitous with just the red, white, and blue is always the same red, white, and blue.
The navy,
I was like, how do
yeah.
you differentiate from that, right?
Mhm.
It's like, I get that we're the U.S. bag company, and we want the flag and the patriotism of it,
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at one right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But we wanted it to be our own. And we
Yeah.
didn't want it to, and so we had that. That's the one carryover that we did
Yeah.
from previous was
Mhm.
to kind of carry some cyan over, and you'll see that in the catalog too.
Yeah.
There is, some value in that brand recognition or history that you've built,
Yeah.
already. So something like that carrying over makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next one.
Yeah.
So this one, and there's 2 different versions here, where I think you wanted to see it in a kind of a
Yes.
standard navy
Yep.
in crimson red.
Yep.
And then on basically the difference is the U.S.
Mhm.
on the U.S. bag.
And I love both.
Yeah.
We use them both, to be
Do you?
honest.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
we do.
Okay.
We do use both
Yeah.
kind of color schemes
Yep.
depending on what the opportunity is.
Okay.
But really, what it came down to was that round badge on the lower right there. That
This one here.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
bad boy. Yeah.
Made it
Yeah.
into the real world.
Yeah.
it did.
Yep.
Yeah, and it made it onto our sweatshirts.
Yeah, the sweatshirts and
yeah.
yeah. Jordan did a great job. Just that whole lockup and
It really embodies so much of what we wanted. It's got the vintage look, right? It's got the
Yeah.
vintage Americana look. It gives us our location, tells us where we're at on the map. The time tested is something that I struggle with a little bit, in the sense that oftentimes you'll see brands say, good stuff over time or something, but the reality is, why do we buy U.S. product? It's because we believe in its durability. And its durability isn't just its ruggedness. It's not just the fact that I can grind it on a rock. The durability is the fact that 20 years from now, I want to hand down that product to my grandson,
Yeah.
right? That's more the definition of the durability than just its rugged behavior, so
Right.
to speak.
Yeah.
And I thought this married really our culture and a modern look at it. I love the way you intertwined the LUSB. I thought that was the best version of that in
thanks.
all of them. No offense, Dave. That definitely landed with a lot of emphasis for us.
yeah.
It was a tricky little matchup, to get all those to lock together for sure. But thankfully,
Yeah.
I was able to think of it as like almost a thread going
Yeah.
through a piece of canvas or
Yes.
something. So
Yeah, and I'm sorry I didn't mention that a second ago, because that's exactly what we saw.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm glad
that's
that came
exactly
through.
what we saw.
That's cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And
cool.
this is timeless.
Yeah,
this
it
thing
is.
can live on.
It will live on.
It's not going to
Yeah.
be dated in 20 years. So
Yep.
great choice. Yeah. Jordan.
Oh yeah,
crushed it
and
on
then
this
should
one.
we talk about the the periods versus the underscore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the underscore still created confusion for some people, and so we were like, you know what? The U.S. creates confusion for everybody, right?
Right.
It's either us
Us,
or
yeah.
So just put the periods in and call it good, and then we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And I think it was the right move.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Looks great.
Yeah. On the company trucks, we had the badge.
Yeah.
And we leave it like that. We don't use the primary
Yeah.
icon.
Yeah,
we
you guys-
use just the icon,
Cool.
the badge.
Yep.
And then
Usually have
on
the
the
sticker ups there.
and
Yep.
then stickers and things
Yeah.
like that.
That's cool.
It's nice to have pieces that you can use in little scenarios or whatever. What works best.
Indeed, like you see it on the monitor there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Exactly.
that's awesome.
And that's what we try to do with a lot of clients when building out or doing their branding, is offer kind of this kit, that you can pull it apart. you can't just give them this, say this top lockup. You gotta offer some other layouts and options.
For sure.
Because on
Yeah.
the truck, or whatever it is, different applications, you have different needs.
Yeah.
So like that, top left, just that icon on your truck looks great. You don't need all the type.
I agree, and one of the things that I was admired about what you do here, the work you do, is the fact that you have the acceptance of that. Like you've come from the skateboard industry, or you've got a lot of relation to that.
Yeah.
I don't know a skateboard industry that doesn't screw with their logo every
Yeah.
board,
Right.
right? It's
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
different
Yep.
every time.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking, I'm like, that's the kind of openness I want it to be. I want it to be able to be represented in a similar fashion, have consistency, continuity throughout, right? But it needs to be represented slightly different around for different forums, different
Yeah.
needs, whatever it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yeah. Well, we're super stoked. It looks like you guys are. You guys are using the crap out of it. That's one thing we
We
talk
are.
about on this as well, is that we've done branding projects in the past. You hand it over to the client, and then the client goes to implement those new logos, and then realizes, oh shit, this new signage, all these stickers, new catalog is going to cost us a shit ton of money. And then they either pause on it, or they just take years to actually start to implement it. And right away, I kind of saw that you guys, it was on your door, it was on your trucks, everyone was walking around.
Well, I have a sincere argument with with the folks that do that.
Yeah.
And that is that you're investing in you.
Absolutely.
Why would you spare any expense,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
yeah.
when you go and buy your countertop, do you want to buy a piece of Formica, or you want to
Yeah.
get some nice Italian marble or what,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like you're making an investment in yourself, and you're promoting yourself. It's
Absolutely.
a marketing tool. I don't
Yep.
really understand why you would
Yep.
restrain. I understand budgets,
Yeah.
but you got to get creative with it. I
Yep.
mean, you can get around a budget.
Oh,
Trust
yeah.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. You got to put it to use, though. You got to
Yeah.
put it to work.
That's
that
right.
logo.
Yeah.
And we can only hand it over. It's up to you as a
Yeah.
business owner, or the marketing people at your in your company, to take that and actually put it to use.
That's
on
right.
products and different things. So, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of effort, though.
A ton
You
of
got to
effort.
have people there that can lay those things out, or come back to a company and say, hey, I need some teas, this
Yeah.
and that. It doesn't just show up on shit.
Not usually.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
unless Merlin's on your
Yeah, he's
staff,
not.
Yeah.